For the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio, 250-plus markets across the United States of America, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up, as always, is 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Got a lot of stuff to get into today. I got a bit distracted because I was looking for something to read, and I don't have it in front of me, so my apologies. But nevertheless, I got a lot of stuff to get into today. Got a lot of stuff on my mind, right? It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, best phones, best networks, no contracts. You know, I'll get into some football matters involving Antonio Brown in a little bit. I'll get into some basketball matters involving LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers in just a minute or a few minutes from now. But the news of the moment is that Manny Machado, third baseman, shortstop, formerly of the Los Angeles Dodgers, prior to that, Baltimore Orioles, has signed a $300 million deal. That is what we have learned. Manny Machado is signing a $300 million deal, which is a record deal, 10 years, $300 million, with the San Diego Padres. Now, a lot of you are looking at that, and they're like, hey, Manny can ball. Manny can absolutely ball. Lifetime career batting average of .282. 175 home runs in his career. 513 RBIs in his career. Last year, 37 home runs, batted .297. In his time with the Dodgers, he batted .273, batted .315 with the Orioles, batted .273 with 13 homers, 42 RBIs in 66 games with a Los Angeles Dodgers squad that ended up going to the World Series where they would lose yet again. Still haven't won a World Series championship since 1988. Playing for an organization with deep pockets, with arguably the greatest pitcher of the modern day era in Clayton Kershaw, with a bunch of supplementary parts around them, where if Manny Machado was all of that, they might be the champions. Now I want to emphasize that what I'm about to say is not a knock on Manny Machado. It's nothing personal. But I don't give a damn who it is. Ain't nobody worth 10 years in Major League Baseball. That's my personal belief. You can give me all the numbers. You can give me all the ratings metrics you want. I don't give a damn about all that. All the analytics. I don't care. You want to tell me the 8 players before him that signed 10-year, $100+ million deals, you go right ahead. Throw Derek Jeter into the mix. Throw Alex Rodriguez's first $100+ million contract when he signed for 10 years at $275 million with the Texas Rangers. Feel free to do that. Tell me that worked. Tell me Troy Tulowitzki worked. I got it. I got it. But the fact of the matter is, giving Manny Machado $300 million, where you going, San Diego Padres? Where you think you going? You ain't been in the postseason in about 7 years. You haven't had a winning record in 7 years. You haven't had a winning record in 7 years. Let's talk about these Padres for a second. Let's talk about them. The San Diego Padres have not had a winning record since winning 90 games in 2010. Since that time, they have never won more than 77 games in a season. They haven't been to the postseason since 2006. They haven't been to the World Series since 1998 when they got swept by the Yankees. And never in the history of this franchise, dating back to 1969, have the San Diego Padres won a World Series title. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but if I got those kind of things going on, I'm not giving you one player 10 years, $300 million. I'm just not doing it. Why? For what? Manny Machado who can ball without question. This is the brother that basically has the attitude, I'll work when I want to work. I'll run the bases when I want to run the bases. I'll show effort when I want to show effort. That's who you give 10 years to? 10 years? I'm not feeling that. I'm so happy that the Yankees didn't do that. And by the way, don't do it for Bryce Harper either. And Bryce Harper is a stud. I love Bryce Harper. And I am in no way saying I have a problem with the money. I don't give a damn if it's $400 million or $500 million. What I have a problem with, ladies and gentlemen, is the years. I have a problem with you selling me, trying to sell me on somebody being productive 10 years from now. How the hell do you know? In my world, personally speaking, I don't think any of these guys should get more than 6 years. There should be no deals more than 6 years. I like what the NBA has done. I don't like what they've done in terms of restricting salaries. Like, I don't believe that LeBron James is worth $153 million. I think the Lakers should have been able to pay him more than that. LeBron James, simply due to ratings and who he brings through the turnstiles, city to city, across this nation, LeBron James is worth $300 million. Easy. In salary. Easy. So I don't like the fact that he's restricted to the $153 million. But I like the fact that all you could give him was 4 years. I like the fact that for his own team to retain him, all they could give him is 5 years. I like that. Because it's just this, when we're talking about professional sports and you're talking about the physicality of an athlete, how the hell can you project what they're going to be 10 years down the road physically? That's insane. And especially in a sport like baseball, where you can smack homers out the ballpark, or you can have an ERA under 2 and be a strikeout king pitching once every 5 days. The fact of the matter is that it's virtually impossible to project how good somebody's going to be and whether or not they'll earn that money down the line. I'm not giving out no 10-year deal. Manny Machado, is he box office? Are you really going to sell tickets in San Diego? Are people going to clamor to the ballpark, salivating out their mouth to watch Manny Machado? I know he can ball. I'm not questioning that. But are they really going to go out of their way? Is he that dude? Ladies and gentlemen, do y'all understand that in the history of sports, there are very, very few people who do that? Oh, by the way, Bryce Harper is more box office than Manny Machado. Now, you might not need him if you're the Yankees. You might need him if you're the Phillies. You might need him then. You might need him if you're San Francisco. You might need him then, now that Bonds is gone. I mean, I don't know the answer to that question. But when it comes to who I trust and who I'm willing to invest a decade in, I trust Bryce Harper more than I trust Manny Machado. They're both 26 years of age. But I trust Bryce Harper more because I think that Bryce Harper wants it. I think that when he had a down year last year, it could be wanting too much. It could be going all out. It could be being distracted because you care so much, as opposed to somebody that's laissez-faire, acting all nonchalant like they don't give a damn, particularly come postseason time. I got a problem with that. I don't know about anybody else, but that's me. I don't get this. I don't understand it. And if you're the New York Yankees, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I don't give a damn about what Aaron Judge said. He'll move to anywhere they want to, anything it takes to get Bryce Harper. Wait a minute. Just wait a damn second here. You're the New York Yankees. You got to the postseason without these dudes. And quite frankly, I'm sick and tired of you investing in bats and not investing enough in pitching. I know you just signed Severino to an extension. That's not where I'm going. How about going out there and getting a couple of aces? How about making sure in Yankee pinstripes we get a version of Smoltz and Glavine and Maddox together? Back in the day with the Braves. How about bringing that to Yankee Stadium? How about bringing that to the Bronx? How about the exorbitant prices that you charge? And people getting stuck in traffic on the FDR or the Cross Bronx? How about making sure that if they got to go through all of that and then pay $50 for a pretzel and pop, that you make sure you ain't going home in the ALDS, that you haven't deferred to the greatness of the Boston Red Sox. You get Giancarlo Stanton, big name, South Beach, smacking home runs in South Beach and getting the whole water fountain. I don't know what the hell they were doing up there at the Marlins Park. But when that brother came to the Bronx, I'm sorry, I thought it was J.D. Martinez we were talking about in Boston. I thought that's the brother that was balling. I'm just saying, let's keep this all in perspective. I love Bryce Harper. I would love to see Bryce Harper here. It ain't a priority. If Judge is healthy and Sanchez is focused and Gregorius ultimately comes back and stop striking out half the damn time. And you can get any pitching outside of Severino. And you keep CC Sabathia on the crunch berries, not off of it, on it. Keep him on the crunch berries. CC Sabathia is like the male version of Oprah. They're better when they're thick. I don't want the weight going. Keep it on. He performs better. That's what I'm talking about. How about that? That's what I want to see. I am just diametrically opposed and emphatically against 10-year deals in professional sports. I don't think these guys deserve it. I'm not saying they don't deserve the money. I'm saying the years are what I have a problem with. You can project that Manny Machado is going to be 36 years of age when his contract comes to an end. I'm saying, wait a minute. Are you really going to flourish? Can I really trust you to do that over the next 10 years? How come I can't get 5 at a time? How I can't get 5 with an option for the next 5? How come that couldn't have been collectively bargained? I remember when Justin Verlander spoke recently, something wrong with the culture because these guys, spring training's here, and these guys haven't been signed yet. There's very, very few. I mean, Kate Upton loves him more than me, but I love me some Verlander. He's a stud. Make no mistake about it. But talk about a privileged comment. That's baseball privilege at its height. That entitlement just oozing out of mouths of people. 10 years? You gave Bryce Harper, you gave Manny Machado 5 years, $200 million. You give Bryce Harper 6 years, $250 million. I don't care. I got a problem with the years. There is nothing, in my opinion, that Manny Machado has shown you that says I can be trusted for a decade. Albert Pujols, consummate professional. Albert Pujols, big stud, future Hall of Famer, as classy as they come, never associated with steroids. I know he hasn't fallen off the map. I know he's still capable of producing. Is he the Albert Pujols he was years ago with the Angels? With the Cardinals? Stop. You know better. It's not true. 10 years? Alex Rodriguez, second go round with the Yankees. Come on now. Let's just bump the brakes just a little bit now. These 10-year deals, I'm glad y'all cool with it. I'm not. Now, I will tell you where there is an exception. When it pays for itself because you are box office. You are box office. That's when it's different. You want to give Barry Bonds back in the day an exorbitant deal like that? He was box office. Matter of fact, I don't know anybody else who was box office like that. I mean, to a lesser degree, the pitchers like the Randy Johnsons of the world and others, fine. But on a day in, day out basis, night in, night out basis, who's been box office in baseball? Mark McGwire was for 1 year. So was Sammy Sosa, because baseball is very, very good to him. Mr. Interpreter. I mean, you want to look at it that way, that's fine. But to me, the only exception is if you're box office. I don't want to hear about your productivity. I don't want to hear it. Every time I look at the state, I always wonder when I'm watching SportsCenter and I see these baseball games and damn near 3/4 of the stadiums are empty for the first 5 months of the year. I'm like, damn. How they making this money? TV deals, 81 home games, paraphernalia, all of this other stuff, digital, we get it. Sponsorships, naming rights, all that. I got it. But to me, the only exception is if you are box office. Mike Trout is box office. Bryce Harper is box office. And I'm still not sold on him getting 10 years. But if you're box office and the money is offset by the fannies you put into the stadium and other things that facilitate or generate more revenue, I'm down with it. I don't see Manny Machado that way. Am I wrong? Am I lost? I don't recall anybody going like this. When the Dodgers were making their run, I don't recall anybody saying, I got to go over to Chavez Ravine to watch Manny Machado. I don't recall. Am I wrong? I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I don't recall that. I don't recall anybody saying, oh, my God, I got to get over to see Manny Machado. I can't wait. I don't recall that. I really don't. To a lesser degree, Giancarlo Stanton was box office. He's a Yankee. So if you're a Yankee and you relevant, that makes you somewhat box office. When they made their run and we went to the ALCS and lost in Game 7 to the Houston Astros, the way Girardi had those boys balling, those cardiac kids, and Aaron Judge playing lights out at home, not necessarily that much on the road, it mattered. I guess I'm just a little bit different. But I bring this subject up because it's really not about Manny Machado. It's really not about Bryce Harper. It's about the fact that I am diametrically opposed to 10-year deals for professional athletes. I don't like that. Because I don't believe that by and large you can sustain that level of success. There's going to be drop-off. There's going to be fall-off. And to me, the only exception should be if you are box office. LeBron James is box office. He pays for himself the way Kobe paid for himself, the way Shaq paid for himself, the way AI paid for himself, the way Jordan paid for himself, the way Barry Bonds paid for himself, Alex Rodriguez paid for himself. That's why I don't blame football for being the way that they are. Because guess what? The game sells itself, not a player. If Tom Brady is not quarterbacking for the New England Patriots. You trying to tell me people ain't coming to the stadium to watch football? Or people not going to watch football on TV? Of course they will. If they watch Jay Cutler, they'd watch the backup to Tom Brady. I'm here to tell you. If they watch Tannehill, they'd watch the backup to Big Ben Roethlisberger. I'm just giving you the truth. The NFL is the NFL. That's why they can afford to be the way that they are. These other sports are carried by star power individuals. But how many truly are there? And rather than answering the question for you, I'll give you an opportunity to answer it yourself. I challenge y'all right now, right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. Give me 10 guys, hell, 5, that are truly box office. We all deserve a certain amount of money because of our skills, what we bring to the table, and how it contributes somewhat to winning. But we all know that when you really deserve to get paid, it's because you generate revenue, not bleed from it. Who truly, truly generates revenue? Who truly, truly box office? Answer the question. Give me 5 people. I double dare y'all. 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. That's the question I'm throwing out there. I'll get into Antonio Brown a little bit. I'm going to get into LeBron James, what's going on in L.A. in a little bit, as well as Boston and then some. So stick around. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio and ESPN News. By the way, do you have frequent heartburn? Like the kind where you have an acid stashed everywhere in case it pops up? You know what I mean. You keep some in your bag or your desk or your car or your nightstand. You have those chalky tablets ready for whenever and wherever heartburn strikes. Well, listen up. There's an easier way to deal with your heartburn. That's Prilosec OTC. Just 1 pill a day will last a full 24 hours with 0 heartburn. Kick your antacid habit. It's possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn. It's not for immediate relief. 888-SAY-ESPN. That is the number to call. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Learn what affects your credit scores and what you can do to improve them. The Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests on the Stephen A. Smith Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line, and you can always get in touch with the show through the 1-800-Flowers Twitter feed.
Stephen A. Smith Show is being brought to you by Credit Karma. Get your truly free credit scores and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma today. That's Credit Karma, K-A-R-M-A. Get knowing. One of the other things that I wanted to get into, just thinking about a lot of things here. I want to make sure that I'm very, very clear about what I'm saying. When I say box office, I'm not just talking to turnstiles. I'm talking about TV ratings too. I'm telling you right now, and I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm trying to challenge everybody right now. It'll be hard-pressed for folks to come up with 5 guys who are box office. Now, but Pujols, he didn't sign a 10-year deal. He signed an 8-year deal. But even then, in some people's eyes, that was a little bit too much. Because you wonder how people are going to be able to produce. It matters. It really, really matters. And we see these guys here, and people are how you go? What baseball player's box office other than Mike Trout and possibly Bryce Harper? Who's box office? I'm not saying they don't deserve to get paid. But personally speaking, I think the deal should be maxed out at 6 years. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about years. I'm talking about years. And I don't understand how this is even an issue for people. I am totally opposed to 10-year deals. Totally. And I'm telling you right now, y'all will be hard-pressed. I'm not saying you don't have 5. I'm saying it ain't easy to come up with the 5. You got 450-plus players, okay, in the NBA. You got 1,800-plus players okay, in the NFL. You got 720 plus or 700 more players in Major League Baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to come up with 5 people that are undeniably box office, turnstiles, ratings on television, etc. Give them to me. Because I'm telling you, they don't exist. Now, maybe they will exist in a local market. But that's teams that are fans and, fans are supporting their local team, stuff like that. I'm talking about transcendent, clearly box office kind of ball players in the world of professional sports. Do you know that when I ask my producers, these are pros, mind you, paid to know these kind of things, do you know they actually went the route of mentioning Zion Williamson? I said pro sports. I didn't say college. But they had to go the college route because it was hard-pressed to find a pro who was definitively box office. Right now, Zion Williamson is arguably a top 5 box office attraction in the world of sports. You realize how sad that is with the money that's being doled out to these professional athletes? Everybody talk about making money, and nobody talk about generating money. Because most of them ain't winning, and they're not revenue generators. They're just getting paid a salary for their talent, a very exorbitant one at that. But nobody brings that up. So let's have that conversation. Roger, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead, man.
Hey, I got my top 5. I'm a diehard Yankee fan. My top 5 don't like 10-year contracts, just like you. But it would be Harper, Trout, Judge, Mookie, Altuve, and one future player.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Slow down. Give me the 5 again. Slow it down.
Bryce Harper.
Agreed.
Mookie Betts.
No. Great.
Jose,
not box office. I said box office. I didn't say great. I said box office. You are wrong. Keep going.
Altuve.
You're wrong. Keep going.
Judge.
Aaron Judge?
Yes, sir.
Potentially, because the Yankee brand, et cetera, helps buffer his own brand. Okay, possible. What else?
And the future one in Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
No. You don't turn on the TV or walk through the turnstiles to watch these people. You respect them. And I said in all of sports, you just gave me baseball. There's no list. There is no list that can't have LeBron on it and Tiger. They pay for themselves. Their box office. They pay for themselves. The ratings of television are down. LeBron's in the West Coast. He's out here in L.A. It's where I'm at this week. This is where LeBron is. So the ratings have dipped because he was on in the East, so he'd come on early in the evening. He's out west. It's been compromised. All the networks' ratings have suffered. Tiger Woods, when he ain't playing golf, it ain't the same. When he is playing, it matters. If your list doesn't have LeBron and Tiger on it, you don't know what the hell you talk about. Have a nice day. Josh, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A., how's it going, man?
I'm all right. Talk to me.
All right. So, just baseball here?
Hold on, first of all, I know you didn't just put me on speakerphone. I know you didn't just do that. I know you didn't just put me on speakerphone. You didn't call into a national television, a national radio show, and then put on speakerphone and your voice fade. Please tell me you didn't just do that.
Hey, I've got you live up to my face right now.
You better. Now speak up so my audience can hear you. Let's go.
All right. Hey, somebody that I got in mind for the future. Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, my God. What is the matter with you people? Sure, the future, maybe. I asked you, you watch sports, Josh. You've been watching. How old are you, Josh? How old are you, Josh?
I'm 27 years old.
How long have you been watching sports, Josh?
How
many sports do you watch, Josh?
Plenty of sports.
All right, so I asked you to give me 5 5 box office athletes. 5.
All right, here we go.
Give it to me.
All right, we got Bryce Harper. We got LeBron James. We got Michael Phelps. I'm going to give you Michael Phelps.
Oh, stop it. Stop. All right. Okay. Let me take that back. Michael Phelps, when it comes to swimming and Olympic competition, yes, you will watch him. But come on. I mean, I got it. But let's throw him out of the equation. We only see him once every 4 years, and that was in the past because he's retired. Okay. All right. So we don't want to disrespect Michael Phelps. But come on. Give me somebody that plays more.
All right. I got Tiger on there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to get you a football guy. Give me Tom Brady, best of all time.
Okay. Tom Brady, Tiger, LeBron. You said Mike Trout, right?
Yeah, I could throw Mike Trout in there.
And who's the 5th?
LeBron, Tiger. We got Tom Brady,
Trout.
Mike Trout, and then I'm throwing Bryce Harper in there. I got
and Bryce Harper. Okay. That's a doable list, although somewhat debatable. It's still a doable list. But you see what I'm saying? Wasn't easy to come up with, is it?
No, it's not. I had to
But
reach
we
out
giving
to
out
swimming.
10-year deals. But we giving out 10-year deals.
You're right.
We giving out 10-year deals. Take it easy, Josh. Thanks for the call. I mean, y'all got to be kidding me. Manny Machado? I'll run down the first baseline when I want to. No, win a championship, yeah, it'd be nice, but, it's all right if I don't. 10 years? 10 years. And what you think he's going to do for the Padres? Other than pad his own numbers and lose. Just like Robinson Cano did, even though Seattle Mariners was a pretty good team. The fact is, Robinson Cano signs for $240 million. And now the damn man is back in New York, but with the Mets. And you can't make this stuff up. You got cats that's just showing up. Their job is to go to the batting cage in the morning, eat lunch, smoke tobacco, and play cards in the clubhouse, and then show up for 3 hours at night and maybe get 4 swings at a bat at the ball. And you can't make this up. They got nothing to do with revenue generating, no box office appeal, but we giving out $300 million in 10 years. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Joe, you live with Stephen A. What's up?
Hey, Stephen A., how you doing, bro?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen, you know what, man? I agree with you 103%, man. Listen, first of all, the analytics, they don't dictate. I mean, they don't agree because, and plus it's hard box office to get these guys to get them 4 times a game, and when you go to see them, they might strike out 4 times, first of all.
Yeah.
And I have problem with the money.
Hold on, Joe. Or worse, they might get walked intentionally.
or might not,
you know what I'm saying? They might get walked intentionally. And then, Joe, you can't make it. Joe, did I ever share that story with you? I went the one time Barry Bonds was coming to Yankee Stadium, man, and I waited. I got stuck in traffic. I traveled to the Bronx. I went there as a fan, not a journalist. I parked. I paid $50 for parking, man. I brought some sodas, a hot dog, the whole bit. And I sat there and watched them walk Barry Bonds. You know how disgusted I was?
You paid $10 for a hot dog. You see what I'm saying? And
you can't make this up.
You can't, man. In 10 years, like you said, you can't project. I played college baseball and basketball, okay, in Jersey City. Let me tell you something, man. You cannot, 10 years, the way athletes are today, guys throw 100 pitches and their arms are broken. Look, right now, to give that kind of money to me is ludicrous. I have problem with the money also. I mean, when you compare that money they're making to any other profession, any other sport, when you talk about, like you said, they play cars and they chew tobacco and they walk around and come on, man. The ball might not be hit to him all day, technically speaking. So, actually, that kind of money, man, really, and I think the owners has got out of hand. How do the owners allow this? Analytics don't even back this up as far as saying these guys worth this kind of money.
Gotcha. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. If you missed any of my opening thoughts, go check it out on demand in the Stephen A. Smith Podcast, brought to you by Capital One. Capital One is reimagining banking, offering accounts with no fees or minimums that can be opened in 5 minutes. Capital One. Hey, what's in your wallet? 888 say ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Back with more of your calls before my man Ryan Clark comes on to start off hour number 2. So stick around. You're listening live to Stephen A. ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Whether it's monthly challenge to meet your goals, a training program for your next race, or setting a new personal best, the Peloton bike will make you want to show up and